Let's, without further ado, get round to our questioners here who are going to give you that degree. And we'll start with Ruth McGuigan first. Ruth, on you go.
Philip, do you associate with children as well outside of your work as you do inside of your work, or is that just an image for TV?
No, not an image. I think if you start to create an image like that, then you're actually treading on very dangerous ground. If you're a different person on the telly than you are off, then you would end up in a situation where you wouldn't know who to be, I think. And I don't think that I have any problem at all relating to youngsters at all, of any age. And I think, really, I'm probably not the best person to judge that. But the reaction to the programme and the reaction when I've done programmes and finished doing programmes is normally good. But I certainly am not a different person on or off. About the same, I think.
You believe that?
Yeah,
do you believe it?
Okay. That's fine.
Thank goodness for that.
Right, Orla Beggs is next.
What do you see yourself doing in the line of career in 10, 15 years from now?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I would have to say that I never look too far in advance. I never look too far forward. I know what I'm doing now for maybe the next year. And then after that, I'm not sure. You see, telly changes all the time. 1 minute you're popular and everything's going okay, and the next minute, you may no longer be quite so popular. So it changes all the time, and sometimes you have to change your direction of what you want to do. So I haven't even thought about telly in 10 or 15 years' time. I haven't considered it. Maybe, sort of a couple of years' time, I'll think about the next couple of years, and a couple of years after that, I'll think about the next one, but not too far in advance, first of all. You'd end up paranoid if you did, because it can be quite a fickle job, and there's no guarantee that there's going to be work that far up front, so I'd end up like a quaking wreck. So, no, I don't think that far.
But it's what you've always wanted to do, isn't it?
Oh, yes, because it was something I decided I wanted to do when I was 10. I started typing letters to the BBC so they couldn't tell how old I was, so they couldn't see my handwriting at 10. And by the time I was 17, I finally got a job as a bookings clerk in Broadcasting House, and I did that for 2 years. And then I went to New Zealand and lived over there for 4 years and got some experience then in television and radio. And then I came back and was lucky enough to get the afternoon job.
But did you feel really that it was the New Zealand thing that clinched it, because you had to go away from the BBC, get the experience elsewhere, and then come back with something to show them?
Yeah, it's a little excessive to go 12,000 miles to get your experience, but that was the only way I could see around it. My folks were going anyway, and asked if I'd like to go, and it took a bit of soul searching to make that move. I'd worked all that time to get into Broadcasting House. And then I'd been there 2 years and was thinking about moving out of it. And I'd waited for it for 7 years. I thought, oh, no, what am I going to do? And after a bit of soul-searching, I decided that it was obviously a very good move.
And here you are, to prove what a good move it was.
That was right.
I think Arla's got another question for you.
Now that you're in Ireland, if a leprechaun were to approach you and ask you any 3 questions of your choice, what would these 3 questions be?
Any 3 questions?
Or any 3 wishes?
Wishes? Whew. I was going to say, that's a novel one. I've not been asked that one. Any 3 wishes? Oh, good grief. I would have to ask for Bruce Willis to leave...
Oh, really?
To leave... No, hang on, finished yet. To leave Demi Moore. Now, they got married, but it won't last. A Hollywood marriage won't last. She was over in London a while ago and she didn't even give me a call. So that would be the first one. I think first wish would be to get Demi Moore away from Bruce Willis. I think is a bad influence on her. The second one, obviously, I think if we're going to be a little bit more serious, it would be nice to think that that one day we could all live in a world that was a little more peaceful, a little quieter, a little more relaxed. And the third one, that I could perhaps get up a little earlier and feel all right. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to come here, and I'd like my wish, if that leprechaun popped up, I'd say, would you please make me a bit better in the morning?
I think we'd all like that. Anyway, Stuart, Nelson, step forward now with your questions.
Philip, if you did not work in television, what would you have worked as?
That's a tricky one as well, because I never really considered anything else. Although, I'll let you into a secret here, and I've never ever admitted this, ever. When I was at my infant school, very first school I ever went to, infant school, my teacher asked us, and I was probably about 5, she asked us what we wanted to do when we left school. I'm sorry about this, but I actually said that I wanted to be a grave digger. This is true, but I said I was going to leave air holes and straws and things, so just in case, they could breathe if they needed to. So I was going to do that. Now, I'm not sure whether I'd have gone through with that had I not got into broadcasting, but it was one job that I thought about for a while. I had considered a couple, but that one I thought could do.
Well, somebody's got to do it, haven't they? Stuart, you've got another question.
Did you have to go to a special training school to be a presenter?
No. The Phillip Schofield School of Idiots I went to. No special school. I have no sort of dramatic background, no acting background. Basically, just an ordinary sort of schooling in Cornwall. And then really just the experience I got through working in the BBC. I thought that was more important. I mean, if I was going to be an actor, then obviously you have to be trained. But you don't really have to be trained to be a presenter because you're yourself, which means that you don't have to think about playing a role or thinking about a character. That's the most important thing, is to get your experience as yourself so that you know that what you're doing is actually you, just an extension of you. So there's no need as a presenter to go to school because basically you're just playing yourself.
I think Stuart's looking for some personal advice here because I think he's maybe got his eye on your job.
It's yours. Perseverance is the one. Lots and lots of doors close in your face. They did when I came back from New Zealand. For quite a long time, I couldn't get a job. So perseverance. And you don't get disappointed. And if there's the one thing you want to do, then you've got to get that in your mind. And know that if you're going to do it, you really want to do it, and nothing's going to persuade you not to. So it's perseverance and confidence.
Right.
And
Go
the
forward,
knowledge
young
that
man.
you can do it. Absolutely. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Do it.
Right. Ruth again.
What do you think makes you so popular in comparison to all the other presenters on television at the moment?
Oh, I wouldn't say that I was any more or any less popular than the other presenters. I think we all have our own following. Once again, that comes down, I would hope, to not being different, to actually just being yourself. And we had a horrendous moment on Going Live on Saturday when one of the phones, always me that it happens to, when the phone broke down. Which those sort of situations I don't mind that much because if you're in that situation and you panic and you think, oh no, what am I going to do? Then that wrecks it. And the most important rule, and you remember this too actually, if you're going to go into telly, the most important thing is it doesn't matter if something goes wrong so long as the people who are watching at home don't feel embarrassed. If they feel embarrassed, then you've really got it wrong. But if they can laugh with you, then that's okay. And moments like that on telly, I think prove or help you to be more natural if you can react to them as yourself. And well, Ed, I mean, let's face it, you've been on the phone, you've got a wrong number, you've dialed it, it's not worked. So it's the best thing to do is just to treat everything normally, and I think that's helped.
It also helps if sort of 11 million people aren't watching while you get your wrong number, doesn't it?
I mean, you only ever think about one person. You only ever think about the one person that's on the other side of the camera. You never think about millions of people, because the important thing is to do it is a one-to-one. I'm a very great believer in personal telly, personal one-to-one telly, and I think that works very nicely. So you only ever imagine one person.
Back to Phillip, and we have a queue of people lined up at the telephone calls, just dying to speak to you. And the first one is, don't look like that, it'll be all right, really. It'll be Miranda Laurie, I think. Miranda, hello.
Hello, Miranda.
Hello.
Hi.
Right, how many hours do you work a week, and what does your work consist of off screen?
Right, okay, how many hours? Well, Going Live takes up most of Tuesday, and all of Friday, and half of Saturday. And the rest of the time is spent either pre-recording other programmes or going out and doing things. I mean, the diary at the moment is full to capacity up until January the 1st, and then I've got a little bit of a break. But most of it, I mean, you'd be quite surprised. I mean, you do lots of other things outside of telly, lots of other things that you get involved in. You go to see people, I mean, sort of PAs and all that sort of business. So there's those. But obviously work on other programmes too that you don't get to see for a little while. I mean, I was in Birmingham all weekend doing a song for Christmas, which is on soon. So we were working on that one, which is going to be a good programme, actually, by the way. But things like that take up the whole weekend, although you won't see it for a little while. It can be very busy.
All right. Does that answer your question, Miranda?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. Right, step forward, Wendy Newbury. Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
What's your question?
Children's TV always seems to come second best. Do you have any aspirations of greater things, or do you see yourself working with children forever?
How do you mean second best?
Well, like famous names like Noel Edmonds and Maggie Philbin, they started with children's TV, and then they've gone on to adult TV, you see. So I was wondering if you have any sort of aspirations going to that sort of thing.
I don't see the movement from children's television to adult television as a step up. It's moving to another audience. It depends how you view what the children's department does, and I think it provides, a great service. So I wouldn't say that moving to adult television was a step up. It's just a step in a different direction. Once again, as I said earlier on, obviously the time will come when youngsters will say, no, not Schofield again, he's far too old, look at him, lined, wrinkled and grey. So there will be a time when I will be forced, really, to move on and go into other programmes, and hopefully other programmes will have me. It's either move on or move out type of thing, so hopefully there'll be something else to do.
By which time Wendy herself will be up and, so you can take her with you.
Happening, and the young chap that's here as well, asking questions and things, so he'll be there, so you make way for other people. But I'd never really look that far in advance. I'll know when the time is right. I'll know when it's time to move on.
Right. OK, thanks very much, Wendy. And Anna Keenan now. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
Hi, Anna.
Hello. If you could do a programme on location anywhere in the world, where would you do it and why?
Somewhere sunny. That'd be quite nice. I spent four years in New Zealand, as I mentioned, and the weather over there is actually quite nice. You have a summer that is quite reliable, so you can say to someone, right, I'll meet you on the beach a week on Friday, and you knew that the weather was going to be nice. It was terrific. Now, I don't mind the British winter being as severe as it likes, so long as we actually get a decent summer, even if it's only for a couple of months, but one that we could rely on. So my location would be somewhere warm, just to get away from the winter a little bit, because I haven't had a holiday for a while, and that would be quite nice. I'd incorporate a holiday with some work, which is always the best way to do it.
OK, Anna, thanks very much. We're fairly rattling through them here. We've got Sarah Jo Rogers now. Hello, Sarah Jo.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. What are your earliest memories of Christmas when you were a child, and what was your favourite present?
Right, earliest memories. I always remember both my brother and I used to do it, and I think up to a certain point we still do, although Christmases have changed slightly because, I work and there are lots of different things that sort of muck Christmas around just a tiny bit. But we always used to get up very, very early, which, not necessarily such a good thing to do, but it does make the day a little bit longer. And I used to have a pillowcase, so think big. Instead of the stocking, I had a pillowcase. And I used to love getting sort of dressed early in the morning and going downstairs with my mum and dad and opening the lounge door, first of all, when it was all dark, and then you turn the light on and find out what was in there, whether there was anything in there at all. So I used to like that. Those are very pleasurable early memories. And my favourite prezi, I had...
In 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds, it was a train set. It was absolutely huge, and my dad spent a long time making it, and I loved it, so that was it.
Great. OK, thanks very much, Sarah Jo, and thanks, Philip, meantime.